Okay, good afternoon. Thanks for joining this session. My name is Ali Bukabash and I work for BMJ as a training manager. Um, Today we're focusing on BMJ Case Reports and we will highlight some other resources. Uh, just before we start, I just wanted to apologize. I've got a bit of a cold, so I might mute the microphone if I need to. So, as I said, we're focusing on BMJ Case Reports. Which is a tool that's available at Medway NHS Trust and a number of other places. We will also highlight the access across the NHS to BMJ journals and also highlight BMJ Learning, as it said in the description and invite. We'll only be looking at the free the content that's freely available at the moment, as I'm sure there'll be trusts that also subscribe to BMJ Learning as well, but I'll just highlight the free content for now. And we'll have some time for Q&A at the end as well. So BMJ Case Reports, publishing, sharing, and learning through experiences. Like I'm going to have to make another apology. I hope the sound isn't coming through. It seems like we've got a building site nearby. So in this section, BMJ Case Reports, I'll cover what a case report is, how to search and browse for cases, and how to write and submit your case. So a case report tells a clinical story that has a unique value to the field of practice and is shared for the purpose of educating others or stimulating further scientific inquiry. BMJ Case Reports is actually the largest single collection of medical cases in the world, with over 20,000 cases from around the world. It's very much an invaluable educational resource for all healthcare professionals, and it provides clinically important information on common and rare conditions. It does cover all specialties, and we'll go through the submission steps. As I said, it's a very simple submission steps, and all of the cases that are published are indexed, so your cases are discoverable. And it's got a pretty good acceptance rate too, which was 54% last year. And for subscribing institutions, there is an unlimited number of case submissions. In terms of case types, we've got three main case types, what you might call clinical cases. And we've also got images in or videos, and here you may have one or two striking or clinically important images with a brief description of the educational message, so meaning no more than 500 words. We also do global health cases as well. And what I'll do a little later, I'll try and send through some examples of each of these cases. So, searching and browsing, I'll actually go onto the website and just give you a quick tour of the site and then come back here. So it is casereports.bmj.com. And we do have a search box here where you can search for your cases, and we've got a way to browse the content as well. As you can see, specialty, browse by specialty, look at latest cases, popular, and look also at cases, images in and videos. And then, of course, responses, which is something that we have across all of our journals. You can, if you want to, register for email alerts, and these will send you cases as they get published. If I scroll down a little bit, I'll have here in the spotlight, we've got COVID-19 cases relevant to COVID-19 here. And on this side, I'll highlight these things in a moment, but I just wanted to point them out on the website itself. So instructions for authors, a link to submit your cases, and then further down, as we saw earlier, some popular cases here. And this is one of the cases I wanted to share with you, actually. The one here on the top right corner, and you can also browse, as we said, by various specialties. Okay, so just a very brief overview of the homepage there. Maybe if I click onto this one as an example of a sort of clinical case. So when you're looking at an article, you've got the, of course, you can download the article as a PDF. You've got a number of features here on the left. And if I sort of scroll down a little bit more, see if there are any images on here. If there are any images or figures, you can download those and use them, for example, in your own presentations. As you can see here, download to PowerPoint, that's another feature, which is across all of our journals, really. So that's, as I said, brief demo or walk through the site. I'll probably come back here to point out other things on the website. I'm just going to click on the logo to get back to the homepage, and then get back onto those slides. So writing a case report. As I just highlighted on the site, instructions for authors is the main place you'll be looking at for instructions on how to write a good case report. But I've also got some handy sort of hints. Firstly, you should know what the editors are looking for. I've already pointed out the instructions for authors. There is also an FAQ section there for authors on the website. Read some published cases. The link, I'll point out what this booklet is on the site. It was our 10th anniversary special edition booklet with a number of nice case reports. Read guides provided. Again, we do have a guide on the website with a link in the instructions for authors, which goes into detail with regards to writing a case report. And as I highlighted earlier, we do have 3 templates, and I'll show one of them in a moment. So full case template, images in, and global health. And these templates would have tips in them. And as I said, I'll show an example in a moment. Use of simple language and grammar. I guess it goes for all sorts of writing, not just case reports. And also seek help from senior colleagues. We know, for example, that a lot of junior doctors, their first publication is usually a case report. So if they've not written one before, they can always seek help from their senior colleagues. And when it speaks about simple language and grammar, there are a number of sort of things that you hear a lot. So things like not using metaphors or similes or other figure of speech. Not use long words where you use a short one. If possible, to cut out a word, do it. If possible, to use wherever possible, use the active as opposed to the passive. And I guess similar to the previous points, there's no need to use scientific sort of jargon if you can think of an everyday equivalent. So what are the editors looking for? So healthcare professionals, researchers, medical students, and others must find the cases to be relevant, engaging, and a valuable learning resource. And I copy this from the website. It says, we want to publish cases worthy of discussion, particularly around aspects of differential diagnoses, decision-making, management, clinical guidelines, and pathology. And those are the headings in the templates, so clinical case and global health case. And you'll notice on here that we include patient perspective as one of the sections in our templates. And we do put patients at the heart of everything that we do, and we'd like our the authors to do the same. And that example that the case that I opened earlier, has a very nice section on patient perspective section in there. It's quite moving. The one around intermittent fasting to help with diabetes. So here's an example of a template. And this is the, I guess you can't really see this, it depends. But as an example, for each section, this isn't the full template, but for each section, there are some tips. And for example, the last one there on the bottom right, it says learning points or the take-home message, 3 to 5 bullet points, and it says this is the most crucial part of the case. So what is it you want your readers to remember when they're seeing their own patients? So there's something else which is very important, which is the patient consent forms. So obviously the patient details need to be anonymized as much as possible. The patient consent forms are available in a number of languages, and they're available from quite a few places. You'll get to them from the website, and I'll go into that right now, actually. So we mentioned the instructions for authors. Already highlighted that here, so I'm just going to show you the sections in this part of this website. So how to write a case report. I highlighted earlier that there is a link on here, a couple of links really. So we've got the templates in there. We also have the patient consent forms here. Hopefully you can see my cursor. We've got the BMJ Author Hub for further help. And our 10th anniversary cases special edition booklet is here. So you can see just further down, you'll start to see the cases. So this will give a very good idea of how you should structure and write your cases. I think those are the main things in terms of instructions for authors. We've seen the patient consent forms. Yeah, and the other sections are in here really. And I think we could go straight into submitting a case. So we said there is a submit a case report button just there. This will bring you into our Scholar One Manuscripts website. And you'd need, I might actually already be logged in, but I'll see. You need to create an account first. And there are 3 sections here. So you just follow the prompts. So you simply follow the prompts and make sure you enter information wherever it says required REQ there. Just make sure those fields are filled in. Once you've done that, you've finished the 3 steps. You go back and log into the site. I'm just going to do that now. So here, I've just logged in. there's some useful information on this page. As you can see at the top, there is a COVID-19 message from BMJ, which is really around really the sort of the way COVID-19 has affected the timelines, etc. And also, yeah, there's just a note in there for you. As I said, some useful information on this page. You will find a link back to the BMJ, for example, in here to get that author information page. But to start your submission, you simply need to click on author. Ignore this page. Click on start new submission. And on here, you might notice that we're also providing those templates here for you. Just in case you got to this stage and you hadn't downloaded those templates and used them, you click on begin submission. The first thing you do is you choose what type of case you're submitting, and then you start your by filling in the rest of the templates, so title, the abstract, and so on. I won't go through all of it, but I'll jump to the authors and institutions section. Now here you need to, there is a limit of 4 authors per case report, but the section I want to highlight is this one here. So for instance, we know that Medway subscribes to this resource, so the library will provide the users with this code. So the users would need to tick or select this button here and then enter their code in here. That's provided to them by the library, the fellowship code, as it were. So that's something I wanted to highlight, and that's currently on step 4. And then, of course, you go through the rest of the submission steps, and I highlighted earlier that the patient consent form is quite important, and actually it's actually the first thing that you upload when you're uploading your templates and images and so on. So I hope that was quite sort of straightforward, but I'm obviously happy to take questions later about this if anything wasn't sort of clear. And I'd like now to move on to BMJ journals. So that was a brief overview of the case reports, BMJ case reports, currently available to healthcare professionals at Medway NHS Trust, and a number of other. That's where the invite came from for this webinar, as well as a number of other trusts across the country. So I just wanted to remind everyone that you do have access to many of the journals that we publish here at BMJ. And in total, our portfolio includes around 70 journals. And this, of course, includes the BMJ and many other highly influential specialty journals. And these cover all areas of medical research and related practices that any healthcare professional would need access to. And we provide high quality research as well as basic and practical sciences for all levels of practitioner and researcher working in the field of medicine. So as you said, we do publish some of the world's top specialty journals, and here are some examples along with our impact factors. And last year alone, we had 86.5 million page views from around 6,000 published articles. And in total, we have around 84, or rather 48 million users from around the world. So that's basically from every country in the world. Now, the BMJ serves a global audience of academic and clinical researchers, medical educators, leading clinicians and policymakers. It is one of the world's most influential medical journals, as we've said, and it features origin research, reviews, expert analysis, authoritative opinion, and medical education. It was first published in 1840, and the BMJ's mission is to help medical researchers to create and share the best evidence which clinicians need in their mission to deliver the best healthcare. Now, the BMJ is continuously publishing online some of the world's most influential medical research, which has earned an impact factor of 30.223. And all readers, whatever their specialty, role, or location, can really appreciate the BMJ's attention to the arts and science of medicine, with articles addressing how societal and ethical considerations impact the research and practice of medicine. And what I'd like to do is go into the BMJ website and maybe just highlight some of the features and some of the tools on our websites. So I'll actually start with our journals homepage, which is journals.bmj.com. I mentioned the Authors Hub earlier when I was speaking about BMJ Case Reports. There was a link to it from the BMJ Case Reports website, but it's also available here. It says authors and reviewers. So this is the BMJ Author Hub. And as it says there, it helps the researchers to get their papers published, discovered, and cited. If I just go back and click on the journals page here, and here we simply list all of the journals that we publish. So a lot of these you'll have access to through on a national level, really. And as you can see, there's lots of open access journals here as well. So let me go into the BMJ first, which is bmj.com. And by the way, with whether it's the journals or in general or BMJ case reports, if for whatever reason you got to an article and you couldn't have access and you don't have access to the full text, you simply need to log in by using Open Athens, and you'll have full access to the resource. As you can see here, it's giving me that option here. Log in via Open Athens, and that will give me access to the full resource. So here I'm on the BMJ homepage, and I've got a number of recent articles here, different types of articles. We've got a link here to our coronavirus hub, also listed from there at the top. And on this page, you'll find really articles and resources drawn from all the journals that we publish and all the resources that we have at BMJ. We've put all them in one place here for you. The infographics are also quite nice as well. Just to say that we've got a number of channels at the top there. So research related articles or research articles, educational articles. We have different types of articles, as you can see here. News and views and campaigns that the BMJ is involved with. And the archive, you can do a number of things, but you can also find links to all of the infographics in one place. And a lot of people really like these. They were actually nominated for awards as well. And then we've got video archives and podcast archives as well. If I just carry on scrolling down, we've got the current issue here. some more recent articles. And again, for signing up to email alerts, we've got a link here, get alerts. We've got a few options. There are a couple of weekly ones, and we've got a daily one as well. They're quite useful. I get the weekly ones. And yeah, I highlighted those podcasts. As you can see, they're quite popular as well. There was one, I think, just last week or the week before with Anthony Fauci here, and that did quite well as well in terms of the number of views it had. And the actually a more recent one, flu vaccine season, excuse me. So that's, as I said, just an overview of the homepage of the BMJ. And if I go into the journals again, excuse me. So let's say the annals of the rheumatic diseases, just to show you that it looks a little bit different. And this is how all of the other journals look like, really. There's a slightly different layout. Email alerts are on the top right corner here. And in terms of author information, each journal will have author information. And it's usually quite clear, as you can see here. And then a link to submit a paper. And around the homepage, again, you'll find we're drawing attention to the latest COVID content within that particular journal. And then similar to what we've seen earlier with BMJ Case Reports, we've got links where you can browse the content as well as search it as well. So just wanted to give, as I said, just a very brief overview and a reminder that you've got access to the journals that we publish, or most of the journals that we publish at BMJ. Okay, so I'd now like to go on to BMJ Learning and just a brief overview of BMJ Learning. Again, I'm sure there aren't many trusts that do have full access to BMJ Learning, but I'll give a brief overview of BMJ Learning and then highlight where you can find those free modules relating to COVID-19. So BMJ Learning offers medical professionals a fast and efficient way to test their knowledge and keep updated with the latest developments in medicine. It includes a variety of clinical and non-clinical topics, allowing users to explore hundreds of interactive learning modules across many specialties. We do have different types of learning modules or courses, and these one of these is clinical scenarios, and it gives the opportunity for the user to test their knowledge in practice. We've got some very insightful user reviews, which really help with selecting your modules. Users are able to pause a restart module, so they learn at their own time. It's flexible at their own pace. And of course, people around the world use BMJ Learning for their CPD or CME requirements, so they can use create print certificates or create PDFs of certificates and demonstrate tangible evidence of learning, and they can use that for their revalidation and appraisal. It is a loved resource around the world, and this is from a recent sort of survey where 99% of respondents said that BMJ Learning helped them to improve patient care. We do have something else on the website that we call improvement scores, which demonstrate the knowledge that's been gained. Across the website, the improvement score, if you like, is around 37%. So that means the difference for each course. So that means the difference from the pre-test to the post-test. So these modules we're looking at have a pre-test at the beginning of the module. you go through it, the content, and then you do a post test at the end, an assessment at the end, and that's really the difference in the scores. So I've picked up some very popular modules from June. Those are the ones out on the screen, but across the website, the average is at 37%. So really, users are assured that the time they're spending on the website is really worth it, worth their time. And as I said, we do use multimedia content, so whether it's videos, animations, or audio. And I highlighted that we've got very insightful user reviews. So this is a popular course on the website, Abdominal Radiographs, a guide to interpretation, and you can see some of the feedback provided by healthcare professionals who have completed that particular course. So I'll go onto the website and again walk through the resource that provided a brief demo. So it's learning.bmj.com. And of course, the user would need to register for an account. If the institution does subscribe to the resource, if their trust does subscribe to the resource, then they can click on login and then select either of these two and follow the Open Athens user journey. If not, and they'd like to access the free courses currently available, so they can simply click on here, go to COVID-19 Hub, and here we have two sections here really. So we've got a section around the treatment. This module here, the guideline focus, critical care COVID, is one that's quite popular. And if I scroll down, we have some modules on well-being as well. So to register for a free account, you simply click on the button here, and you simply follow the steps. So initially enter an email address, and let me actually show these on the, instead of creating an account, I'll just show these on my slides here. So you start by entering an email address. The next step is that you enter your name, country, and create a password. Of course, a lot of people will realize that we've already got their details. Maybe they've used the resource a long time ago, or they've got email alerts set up for the BMJ. And if they don't remember the password, they'll always see a little reset link. And then the last step is that they select their profession and specialty and then click on submit registration. So that's the registration journey. That's what it looks like. And once you have created the personal account, the next time you simply log in. Just log in here. You'll see topics or courses you've recently started here. And to go back to that page, click on there. And then you can click on a module of interest. So if I click on that one there, this is what you'll see. So you've got the duration of the course, the rating provided by people who have completed the course, so other healthcare professionals, the learning outcomes, the target audience. So for this particular one, hospital doctors, foundation doctors, and emergency medicine practitioners. And then you can click on start learning to start working your way through the course. And it's very straightforward, as you can see. So this one does have a pre-test at the beginning. So you go through this, there'll be a number of questions, and then you start going through the learning content itself. And at the end of the course, you'll get an assessment. So an example of an assessment here. If you do get a question wrong, you'll have an explanation, as you can see in here. I've managed to pass, even though I got that question wrong there. And as you can see here, at the end of the course, I'm given the option to rate the course itself, give feedback, and the pass marks do vary between 60 to 80%. And I'm able to print my certificates as well. So I can click on certificate and recollection, print certificate, and create that PDF as proof of my learning. And this is what the certificate looks like. Of course, you don't have to print your certificates at the end of the course. You can always go back to that course page, and you'll be able to print it at a later time. And if you'd like to register for email alerts, all you need to do is go to my account in the top right corner and select update my details. And there are a number of options. The main one is the top one. And then if you need to receive those emails from other emails from the BMJ, etc., there are a number of options on there as well, but the main one is the top one. And just an example of the emails that we send for our BMJ Learning users. We're also on social media, so you'll also be able to interact with us on social media. We do send posts, engaging posts as well on there, similar to that email that I've just shown there. So that was it in terms of slides and content I wanted to share, but do let me know if you've got any questions, either by using chat or just by using your microphones, really. So just wanted to say thank you whilst if you type any questions or you think, just wanted to say thank you for your time, and I hope it's been useful. Do we have any questions? Okay, so yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Ali. That was really useful. Certainly learned a lot, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Is it Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.